Hello there folks, Bonky here, aka your Lonely Achievement God, continuing our From 0 to 1000 Achievement Hunting Series for Zero Escape the Nonary games. We're going to finish up 999 in this section and then move on to VLR. There is a lot more text in this section than there was in the first one, so we'll be skipping quite a bit or reading quite a bit depending on what option you have chosen. Again, if you have touched the safe, I know I touched on this at the end of our first run, but if you touch the safe as I told you to when we went through that very first first class cabin after the door 4 and 5 choice, if you touch the safe and 7 and Snake commented that no one found anything, you're good to go. We continue on from this point. If you did not touch the safe, you have to go back and go through the door 5 choice, go through those 2 escape rooms. Make sure when you're in the first class cabin, after you play the piano and the door unlocks, but before you go out of the door, you have to go find the safe and touch it and get that notification about we didn't find anything, and then you can meet up with us here, which is this is right before the 3, 7, and 8 door choice. So let's go ahead and get started here. We're just gonna skip text to our next choice. We're going to pick door number 8 this time. We'll be going with Clover and Lotus this time. So I may have misrepresented one of the areas earlier. This is actually the laboratory. If I did say that the other one was the laboratory, I apologize. I think that was the operating room. So we're in the laboratory now. Press B to back out of the map. We're going to hit the RB button twice to change our perspective, and we're going to interact with this card over here. That'll get us a 3-pronged power cable. So press B to exit your inventory, LB once, and then make sure you have that cable selected. It should be since we just picked it up, but use up on the D-pad if you somehow have other items or whatever to get the power cable, and interact with this monitor twice, once to zoom in and once to actually interact with it. And we're going to find out it's a 2-prong outlet and we have a 3-prong cable. Once you get control back, press B to zoom out, LB twice, and interact with the window in front of you. We need to interact with this machine that's on the ground here behind the guy. And she's going to eventually find a 2-prong plug converter. Once you regain control, go ahead and press B to zoom out, RB once, and interact with the bars once to zoom in, and again to get the item from Clover. You'll get the 2-prong plug. Go ahead and press Y before you exit, and then select the other cable and press Y to combine them into a 2-pronged power cable. Press B twice, once to exit your inventory and again to zoom out, RB once, and make sure you have that cord selected and interact with the monitor. You're going to get a dialogue here in a scene where Junpei appears to look at the keys, but we all know what he's actually looking at. He's not looking at keys there. Anyways, after some dialogue, you're going to have a quick puzzle to take care of. And I'm just going to give you the answer. Because I actually solved this on my own when I went through without realizing the solution was hidden elsewhere. So hit the bottom right one here, hit the top right, hit the top left, and then hit the center to solve it. Pretty simple. Once you get control, we're going to press B once to zoom out, and we're going to interact with the 9 wider lockers over here. That'll open the center one. We're going to interact with them, the lockers again, to zoom in, and then interact with the items. You're going to get the Earth key, which is one of those keys you put away until after the escape room. And then you're also going to get the activation key. Press B to zoom out. Some more dialogue will start. And you'll regain control near the bars. We're going to hit RB twice. We need to interact with this box, red square box here. Make sure you have the activation key selected and interact with that box once, and then again to use the key. That's going to turn on the monitor, but we don't need to interact with it. Press B to zoom out, RB twice, interact with the window, and we're going to interact with this machine hanging on the back wall. Clover will mess with it a little bit, but we're going to have to interact with it again once we regain control, and then she's going to blow everything up. You do get a little cutscene here that you can skip if you press A. It just shows the mannequin's head catching on fire. Press B to zoom out, LB once, and interact with the right door to open it and save Clover. Whoops, interacted with the wrong door there. And now we're done. All we need to do is interact with the door on the left to exit the room. Like usual, you go into some dialogue and can start skipping if you want to, or read it if you are so inclined. All of this, well, most of the upcoming dialogue is going to be repeated. For those of you that are reading, we're going to enter in one of the dialogue sequences we've seen before, so you can actually skip a lot of the repeated text again if you are reading everything. That way you don't have to read the same things over and over again. I know I'm making a point of that because it's a really cool feature. I appreciate that he put that in. So if you are reading, you don't have to read everything that you've already read just to get back to where you, the new content. So just like before, we're going to have a couple of dialogue options that you may remember. Of course, there's a reason. And the ones you chose before usually are grayed out like you saw there, but sometimes like the timeline is different and dialogue isn't X'd out. It's a little confusing, so I wouldn't rely on that to tell you which one to choose. We're going to choose being locked up alone with a boy. And just like before, there's about 2 minutes even skipping before we get to the next dialogue option. So just sit back and relax for a bit. Or, of course, read it if you're so inclined. And your dialogue will be popping up in another like 15 to 20 seconds. Once it does, pick of course. And then for the next one, you'll be choosing, well, that's possible. And this will bring us to the next door choice. We are going to be repeating some rooms we've already done before. So I'm going to be going through these rooms a little bit quicker than we did the first time, since you should already have a good idea of what we need to do. My cat says it's time to pay attention to her. And once the choice pops up, we're going to choose door number 6. And we're going to the engine room. We've been here before, and we'll be doing the cargo room again after that. And we've already done these rooms, so you should have a good idea of how to get through them. So once again, press B to back out of the overhead map. We're going to RB once, click on the stairs on the left side twice to go up, click on the stairs twice more to go up, and we're going to click on the A door once to zoom in and again to go through to the other side. Once you get to the other side and regain control, you're going to hit the left bumper once and interact with the B door. Then hit RB and interact with the machinery with the rope hanging off, and then interact with the wheel. You're going to get the wheel. I accidentally pressed A. Go ahead and press B, trigger some quick text, and then we'll press B again to zoom out. LB once, interact with the B door to go through. We're going to hit RB twice and interact with the C door now. And then we're going to interact with the same device that we got the wheel from on the other side. Make sure you do have the wheel selected and interact with the device a second time to attach the wheel. I'm always going to make mention of that, even though I think it's the only item you could have. I want to make sure you guys realize that you need to have those items selected. That way, if you did go wandering and picked up other things and it's not triggering, you know that you need the wheel. Once Ace stops talking, you can hit the wheel again. You'll get some quick text here, and then it will transition into some dialogue. So go ahead and skip that. Once you regain control, we're going to go back through, but we got to be told about some rats in the water, if I remember correctly. Once you regain control, hit RB, interact with the C door. You'll go back through, hit LB once, and interact with the A door. We're going to click on the stairs once to look down, click on the stairs twice more to go all the way down, hit the left bumper once and interact with the device that is in the crate. Press B once to zoom out, and make sure you have that device selected, and we're going to interact with the control panel door here 3 times to put the control panel in. You'll get a little bit of text and the control panel button will be pressed. and we'll automatically zoom away. And then we're going to interact with the box to get box filled with coal. Press B to exit your inventory, LB once, make sure you have the box of coal selected, and we need to interact with one of these three circles 3 times. Once to zoom in, once to open, and once to put the coal in. You got a little bit of text here while we talk about putting more coal into the machine and the actual act of doing so, and then we will regain control. So we're going to press B once to zoom out, hit RB twice, interact with the stairs twice to go up and interact with the control panel, and then hit the rightmost red lever. That will start the engines, I believe. Or furnaces. Excuse me, whatever they're called. And you'll see this scene where the wheels change. You can press A to skip that. And now we need to go into each of the indents and grab the discs from each wheel. So interact with the gold indent, interact with the gold wheel, and grab the gold disc. Press B 3 times. Interact with the indent for bronze, interact with the bronze wheel, get the bronze disc, press B 3 times. Interact with the silver indent, interact with the silver wheel, and grab the silver disc, B 3 times. Interact with the back wall twice to go forward, interact with the stairs once, interact with the kiosk at the top, and interact with it again to start the final puzzle. And again, this one is very simple. Hit the upper right arrow once, hit the bottom arrow once, hit the gold disc 4 times, the bronze one 5, and the silver one 6. And that solves the puzzle. Then you'll escape and have some dialogue before the next one. So again, we'll just skip all of that text, or you can read it. I think most of it is the same if you are reading everything. There might be a difference in this story here. I can't remember. And then again, we're going to start the cargo room. Just like before, probably going to go a little bit quicker than we did the first time through, since you should know what we're doing by now. Press B to exit out of the map. Interact with the white bag here to get the card with the headshot for Santa. Interact with the crates in the back, and then interact with the bag to get the exploded guy card. Press B twice to back out of your inventory and zoom out, and then hit LB. Interact with the white bag on the ground to get Snake's headshot card. Press B. Interact with the bag on the crate to get Clover's headshot card, and press B. And then interact with this box and interact with the lid to get, and then you have to interact with the card to get Ace's card. Press B twice to exit your inventory and zoom out. LB once. Interact with the white bag on the ground to get Seven's card. Press B to exit out. Interact with the crates. Grab one of the cards. Press B. Grab the second card and press B twice to zoom out. Interact with the teal crate twice. You'll get a bit of a scene here, and we'll eventually get Lotus's card. Press B once, and with that card selected, or any of them really, interact with the teal crates to start a little scene. You're going to eventually get 9 pins. Once you get the 9 pins, you can press B to exit your inventory. Press B again to zoom out. Hit RB once to face the stairs. Interact with them. Interact with them again. Interact with the stairs twice to go up. Interact with the monitor. Interact with the control panel. Make sure you have the 9 pins selected. And interact with these holes at the bottom. You're going to get a little bit of dialogue here before you start the puzzle, and it's the same puzzle that we did before, so I don't expect you to remember the numbers, but you don't need to, because I'll be giving them to you. Again, to place a pin, you have to interact with the hole, and then interact with the pin. Our first combination is 137, 469. On my rewatch of my first portion, which I'm recording these on different days, I think I did this a little too quickly on the first run. So I do apologize for that. We need the 1. We need 3. We need 7. And then at the bottom we need 4. We need 6. And we need 9. That'll light up 1 and 2. Hit the top left one, and we need to put 1. The top middle is 2, and the top right is 9, and then we need 3 in the bottom left, 4 in the bottom middle, and 6 in the bottom right. That lights up the 3 and 4 numbers. It's not so much you don't really need to put them in the proper order, you just need the 3 numbers put together. So for the top one we need 1, 4, and 9. And then for the bottom 3 numbers, we need 2, 5, and 8. And that will light up 5 and 6. And then finally, we need 1, 2, and 4. And on the bottom, we need 3, 5, and 9. And that lights up 7 and 8 and completes the first part of this puzzle. It'll open the F slots on the right. And again, make sure you have the 9 pins selected. Interact with the holes on the right. And we need to solve for F. Again, very simple. Interact with the upper left. We need to put 4, 9, 2 in order on the top row. These need to be in order. So 4, 9, 2 across the top row. We need 3, 5, and 7 across the middle row. And we need 8, 1, 6 across the bottom row. That'll solve the puzzle. And once you get control, you can press B to zoom out and interact with the monitor up top to get a little bit more dialogue about the next puzzle, the Pushmaster 5000. And I did notice with this one also, I jumped the gun, although I corrected myself, at least with this puzzle. In order to move the Pushmaster, you have to click the box where you want it to go. So if you want it to go down, you have to move the cursor and press A on the box or area below the machine. And I should have explained that a little bit better on my first recording of this. The first time we were through the room, and I didn't, and I apologize for that. So what we need to do is move the cursor below, and I'm just going to go in order here. Down, right, right, up, up, left, left, down, down, right, down, right, up, left, up, right, down, up, left, down, right, left, down, and right. You get a little scene that you can skip with A, and once you get control, press B twice to zoom all the way out, hit the right bumper 3 times, and you'll be facing the fence. Interact with the fence twice to zoom in, interact with the crates twice to go up top, and interact with the coffin once to zoom in, and again to start a little dialogue. You're going to eventually get the rusty key. Press B once to exit your inventory, and press it 2, 3, and 4 times to be staring at the fence again. LB once, interact with the stairs to go up. Make sure you have the rusty key selected, which you should, and interact with the exit door once to unlock it, and then interact with it again to leave. The ending does not trigger immediately this time. If you found the safe, you are going to have different scenes than we did in our second ending, and you're going to have some dialogue that pops up. If this doesn't trigger, that means you did not hit the safe when you went through the first time, the first class cabin the first time. So, again, if you're following along with me, you shouldn't have missed it, but for some reason, if you missed that safe, and the second ending will trigger instead of this one. And you'll have to go back to door 5, go through the first class cabin, interact with the safe before exiting, and follow along with the 5, 8, and 6 path that we have here, leading us up to this ending. Again, if you've been following me step by step, this should be happening for you too. Unfortunately, Clover has been murdered. You're going to have some dialogue pop up here, or choices, sorry, pop up here in a second. Because now we're interacting with the safe. Okay, I guess it's taken a little bit longer to get to the choice than I thought it would. I apologize. Now the dialogue pops up. We're going to choose the left hand, though either option does advance it. Choose the left hand. We're going to need to choose what else could gone and truth mean. And then finally, we need to pick the third option, which is right, left, right, left, right, left. And we're going to get a bit of dialogue again before our next choice. pretty quick here. We're going to get another dialogue option. Okay, I might have been wrong. Not pretty quick, but it is coming up. And once it pops up, we need to choose Junpei and 7 and the bracelet. And now you have reached the end, so I'm going to stop real quick. It's not actually the end, but all of the text, it's all text and dialogue from this point on. So if you are reading, feel free to pause the video and enjoy until the end pops up. Otherwise, if you're skipping, we're just going to be skipping straight through to the end. You can skip the credits when they pop up, and it'll bring you to the end, or is it? Press A again, you're going to get your 4th achievement. Hopefully the achievements pop. There we go. Yesterday they weren't popping on screen earlier in the day. They did for my videos. So that gives you the chance of losses not 0 achievement. Number 4 for 30G. We got 120G. Go ahead and press A to skip the scene if you want to, or you can watch it if you want. We're going to press A twice and then hit yes to save. and wait a few seconds to be returned to the flowchart. And we're heading into our final ending now. So we're going to go all the way back up to the door 4 or 5 choice. And then hit A on the novel here, the 4 and 5 doors. And press A twice to start it. You can start dialogue, but you go into the room or the choices relatively quickly. You're going to have to choose 4 when the dialogue option pops up, and then we're going to choose door number 4 for this playthrough. So decided that door 4 would be fine, and this will bring us to an escape room. Eventually you'll start the escape. Just like always, once the escape starts, we're going to press the B button to back out of the overhead map. Interact with the wall twice down the hall to zoom in. Interact with the door. And we need to interact with this tile here. It is the 3rd column from the right and the 5th row down. Interact with it once to get a plate. Go ahead and press B to exit your inventory, RB once, and interact with the door. Press B once to back up down the hall, hit RB, and interact with the matches on the table to pick them up, and press B again to exit your inventory and get some dialogue. Choose Yeah, I Guess I Am. Once you regain control, we're going to interact with the door on the back wall. Now, interact with the map. I'm not entirely sure if this is needed, but we do it just to be safe. And some more dialogue is going to trigger, which is why I think it might be needed and why I have us interact with it. Choose a replica of the Titanic, and then choose I do. Whether or not you do, choose I do, and you're now married. Once you regain control, you're going to hit RB and interact with the vanity. Interact with the drawer of the vanity, and then pick up the key to get the dresser key. Press B twice to exit your inventory and back out, and interact with the door on your right. Hit LB once and interact with the door on your left to say goodbye to June and go into the other room, well, rooms of this escape area. Hit LB once and interact with the candlestick on the table, or the candle. Once you're in the inventory, press Y. Press up once to select the matches, and then press Y again so you get a lit candle. Press B to exit your inventory, and click on the open doorway on the left. Press up on your D-pad to select the dresser key and interact with the dresser drawer. Then interact with it again to open it, and then grab the plate from inside. Press B twice to exit your inventory and back away. Hit RB once and interact with the bed. Interact with this light blue curtain. We don't actually need the curtain, but we have to go pick it up to trigger the candle blowing out. So press B to exit your inventory, and then press it again to zoom away, and you get some dialogue that it got dark, because that candle burns real quick. Press LB, interact with the vanity, and interact with the candlestick to see that it's kind of a key, because the wax just burned completely off. I mean, look at that. That's clean. So press B once to exit your inventory, and again to zoom out and interact with the open doorway. Interact with the display case. And once you zoom in, make sure you have the candlestick key selected with up on the D-pad and interact with the lock. And you can either interact with the lock or the door to open it up and grab the plate. Press B to exit inventory, and this is an important dialogue coming up here. You have to make sure you choose the same one I do. So Santa is going to talk to us, and when Take It pops up, we have to choose Take It. So Take It, it is required for this ending. Make sure you do not pick the other option or you won't get the true ending. So hit Take It, and then this next option doesn't really matter, but we're going to pick You Mean Like Gambling. Eventually you will regain control. And we're going to move on to what I believe to be the only random puzzle in the game. In my walkthrough, I had made a solution for this on my first run, and when I came back to it, it didn't work on my second run. So I don't have a step-by-step solution for this, but it's a very easy puzzle. So right bumpers, so you are facing the hallway. Interact with the painting at the end. Make sure you have one of the plates selected. I don't think it really matters which one you have selected, but once you have one of them, interact with the frame to put all four of them back. And now we need to solve the puzzle. The problem is, to my knowledge, this is always random, and I think it may depend on which plate you have selected. It's not really worth worrying about. We need to get this piece into the upper left for sure. So what we need to do is hit this arrow here. That'll swap that piece, and we flip it like that, and as you can see, those two pieces connect seamlessly now, so we got it into the right spot. This piece here needs to go down, so we need to swap those. And as you can see, when we swapped those, this lined up perfectly with that one. So now we just need to hit this arrow to twist this piece until it all fits together. Again, it's not a step-by-step solution. My text walkthrough has a picture of the final, how the puzzle's supposed to look, if you want to bring it up, or you can, just look to the end of the video when I solve it and solve it yourself. But this is, again, to my knowledge, the only random puzzle in 999. So I couldn't give you a step-by-step solution. I can just kind of give you explanation on how to solve it. Once you regain control, you're going to interact with the hole in the wall, and that'll get you the Mars key. Press B to exit your inventory. You'll get some dialogue here. And we're going to have to choose a dog. Oops, sorry. So choose a dog, which is the correct answer. And once you regain control, we're basically done with the room. Press B once to back away, interact with the door, and Santa will go get June, because we're not allowed to see her anymore. And once you get out in the hallway, make sure you have the Mars key selected and interact with the double doors to unlock it. And then once you regain control, hit A on the double doors again to end the escape. Again, you're going to have some dialogue. And we get into another escape room. So once you get control, press B to back out of the overhead map, RB once, and interact with the door on the right here. Interact with the sheet in the middle and interact with this thin box on the second shelf. Interact with it to open it and grab the rusty knife, and you'll get some dialogue. Once the option pops up, choose No, I haven't. This might be important, so make sure you choose No, I haven't. Again, you should be doing everything I do anyways, but I'm pretty sure, I don't think this is required, but it might be, so we're going to do it anyways. Once you regain control in your inventory, press B twice to exit and back out, and we're going to interact with the pantry of cheese. Interact with this piece of cheese here to move it, and then we'll grab the oil bottle from behind it. Press B 3 times to exit your inventory and back out of the room. And we need to interact with this door on the left, which is partially obscured. Make sure the bottle of oil is selected with up on the D-pad and interact with the bolt. Now interact with the door to go inside.
It's cold in here.
Oh, I'll freak this up. Oh, whoa.
Hey, you had a...
You can actually skip the dialogue. I wasn't doing that. That's my bad. Lotus left and locked us in, basically. Not on purpose, but apparently the water froze instantly. Once you regain control, interact with the cabinet on the left twice to zoom in once and interact with it and open it the second time. Grab the item on the bottom shelf here to get frozen chicken. Press B to exit out and interact with the item in the upper left to get dry ice. Press B again to zoom out, and we have another super important dialogue option here. Choose It Did Seem Rather Odd. Again, this one is required for the true ending for sure, so make sure you stick with me. And after the dialogue, you're going to have another choice. Was honestly impressed, the first option here. Again, I don't think that one's as important, but make sure you follow along with me. Once you regain control, hit LB, interact with the shelving on the right, and you're going to get Chunk of Pork. Press B to exit your inventory, interact with the hatch once to zoom in on it, interact with it again to open it, and grab the sturdy rope. Press B to exit your inventory, grab the water bottle, and then with your inventory open, we need to press down twice to go to the frozen chicken. Press Y on it, go up 3 times and once to the right to select dry ice, and you're going to hit Y to combine them, and you just smash the ice with the chicken. Which, combining them is not quite the term there. Once you get the dry ice crumbled, press Y on it, hit up twice, and press Y on the water bottle to combine those. And you're going to get water bottle with dry ice in it. Press Y on that, press down once, and press Y on the rope to create the water bottle bomb. And you don't have to press A there, I accidentally did. With that, water bottle bomb created, press B once to exit your inventory, and again to zoom out from the hatch. RB once, and once. Make sure you have the water bottle bomb selected with up on the D-pad and interact with the door. Some dialogue will happen. And eventually you'll get out. Once you regain control, hit RB once. You're going to interact with the sink down here and grab the whetstone on the left. Press Y on the whetstone. Press down once to select the rusty knife, and press Y to combine them to get just a regular old knife. Press B once to exit your inventory, and again to back away from the sink. We're going to interact with this reddish grill on the back wall. Press up on the D-pad to select the chunk of pork and interact with the grill. We're going to try to cook the meat so that we can get the paper out. Then Junpei is a complete idiot and tries to grab the cooked meat with his bare hands. Once you get control, make sure you have the knife selected with up on the D-pad and interact with the pork. You're going to get a pork note. Press B once to exit your inventory. Press B again to back away from the grill and hit the right bumper once. Interact with the keypad down at the bottom of the screen once to zoom in. Interact with it again to zoom all the way in. And now interact with the buttons to start a puzzle. Very simple puzzle. All we need to do is type in 4, 3, and then enter. Once we regain control, press B to zoom out and interact with the doors. Interact with the cabinet to get the Saturn keycard. Press B once to exit your inventory and again to back out. We're going to interact with the door on the right. Make sure you have the Saturn keycard selected with up on the D-pad and interact with the card reader. And now you can interact with the door to exit the room. You can start skipping dialogue now. And we're going to return to a very familiar section of dialogue and text. So if you are reading everything, you should be able to skip a lot of the upcoming section. At this point, you probably won't be able to, but once we get to the running around and searching part that you probably will remember, you should be able to skip most of the dialogue then. But if you choose turned on the skip option, you can skip all of it like we are. So just like before, we run around and split up, and eventually we'll get to the dialogue, I promise. I mean, this is, again, quite a bit of exposition about what the story is. Oh, sorry about that. I think I bumped my mic. So we go off with June and start searching, and now we have a bunch of dialogue to choose. And again, if you've been following along with me, the dialogue we need to choose should be grayed out, but just in case it isn't, we're going to choose the Casino B deck. Then we're going to choose Listen to What She Has to Say. Our next choice is going to be the First Class Cabin B deck. And we're going to choose Talk to Her. Our next option is the Hallway with All the Rooms C deck. Run to Ace. Back to the Large Hospital Room C deck. Talk to Him. 0, which should be the third option. And then we're going to choose to finish searching. And then finally, she was right. And that will lead us eventually to our next door choice. And we're going to choose door number 7. Excuse me. Had a little hiccup. Again, we're going to be repeating rooms here, so I'm going to be going a little bit quicker than I did the first time through the room, more than likely, because you should already know what we have to do. Or at least have an idea of it, of course. We're back into the laboratory. And just like before, we're going to start our escape with an overhead map, so press B to back out. Hit RB once, interact with the small table, and grab the forceps. Or I can miss them, apparently. Press B once to back out, and again to zoom out. Hit LB twice and interact with the table, then grab the scalpel. Press B twice to back out and be looking at the mannequin. Press up on the D-pad to select your forceps and interact with the mannequin twice to get a fake organ. Press Y on the fake organ, press down once to select the scalpel, and press Y to combine them so you cut the organ open and get the organ key. Press B twice to back out, and then hit left bumper to face this familiar wall. We're going to hit the right side of it twice. Make sure you have the organ key selected with up on the D-pad and interact with the door on the left to unlock it. You'll go inside, interact with the green box on the middle table, and grab both of the red containers to get blue liquid and red liquid. Press B once after you get the second one to back out and interact with the keypad to start a little puzzle. It's not much of a puzzle. We need to enter 3, 4, 9, and then hit E. That'll solve the puzzle and open the box. We're going to grab the arm first, and then press B, grab the heart, press B once, twice, and 3 times to trigger dialogue. And we're going to have another very important dialogue option coming up required for the true ending. So stick with me. We're going to need to choose Know About Ice 9. So the second option here. Make sure you choose that. It is required for the true ending. Eventually you will regain your control. Press B once to return to the wall. Hit the left portion of the wall twice to zoom in. Press up on the D-pad to select the organ key and interact with the door once to unlock it and again to go through. Interact with the corner twice to move forward, and then interact with this table on the right to zoom in. Interact with the light to turn it on, and press up on the D-pad to select red liquid. Interact with the beaker then to put the liquid in. Press up on the D-pad to select blue liquid. Interact with the beaker to unlock the blue door. And then once again, once you get control, hit up on the D-pad to select red liquid, and you'll make the light purple, turning on the purple light and unlocking the purple locker. Once you get control, press B once to zoom out, hit RB, interact with the lockers to zoom in, open the left one and get the leg, press B, open the center one, get the leg, press B, open the right one, grab the nose, or the fake stomach, and press B. Press B again to zoom out, LB once, and then interact with the cabinet, interact with the drawer, and grab the notes here that is required to start the next puzzle, or one of the puzzles anyways. Press B once, twice, 3 times, and a 4th time to get back to our favorite wall. LB once, interact with the fake chest on the table to get it. Press B to zoom out. LB, interact with the sheet once, and then again. And then with the mannequin head, we're going to drop all of our parts here, and we're going to interact with the mannequin again. And this will start the puzzle. And just like before, we just need to hit each of the body parts on the right mannequin once, other than the heart. So interact with the arm here, the chest, the stomach, and both legs to solve the puzzle. Press B once to zoom out, hit LB and interact with this console in front of the other mannequin 3 times in total to get the Jupiter key. Press B once to exit your inventory and again to zoom out. LB twice to face our favorite wall, and we're going to interact with the left side of the wall twice to go forward, interact with the door, interact with the corner twice, interact with the door, make sure you have the Jupiter key selected, and interact with the door. Some dialogue is going to trigger, and again, this is a very important choice required for the true ending. We need to choose gave her the 4-leaf clover. Very important for the true ending, so make sure you do that. And eventually we're going to get another dialogue choice. And we're going to need to choose patch it up. Although I'm not sure if it really matters. I recommend following along with me because I know choosing the options I do will get you to the desired outcome. And that brings us to the exit of the room. And some more dialogue. So go ahead and start skipping or reading however you want to. Again, this next section will start becoming very repetitive because we've already done this before. So you can, if you're reading, you can be allowed to skip because it is repetitive dialogue. Or if you're skipping everything, it doesn't really matter. Choose, of course, there's a reason. And again, I think this is the 3rd time we've done these dialogue options, so you probably know which ones you need to choose by now. And once we get here, we need to choose being locked up alone with a boy. And just like the previous 2 times, we have about 2 minutes before we get to the next choice. So just sit back and relax. Again, we're going to have a little bit more here, probably 10 more seconds before our next dialogue, and we're just going to choose of course when it pops up. So choose of course, and then rather quickly we're going to choose, well, that's possible. This will lead us to our next door choice. And we are going to be repeating rooms again. And once we get the choice, we're going to choose door number 1. And that'll bring us to the chart room, which is where we went for our very first ending. So again, I will be assuming you have an idea of what we're doing in this room, so I won't be going quite as slow as we did the first time. However, there are a few differences from the first time we were here now that we're on the true ending path. So, once you get control, press B to back out of the map, and we're going to interact with the drawers directly in front of us twice and grab the stack of nautical charts. Press B twice and hit LB. Make sure you have the chart selected and interact with the map twice to get some information we need for later. Press B once, interact with the bookshelves. Now interact with the desk, interact with the middle drawer, and grab the pocket watch. Press B to back out, and some dialogue happens. Again, choose yeah, there is, but this time we have a little bit more dialogue this time, because Clover is more trusting of us. We're going to choose Would It Be Santa and 7. And then we're going to be in a different position when we regain control. We're going to spawn in this other room. And once we regain control, you're going to hit the left bumper. We're going to interact with this thing on the pedestal on the left twice to find out it doesn't have a handle. Once you regain control, press B to zoom out and interact with the helm/steering wheel twice to start that fun little steering wheel puzzle. Again, you're going to hit the right arrow and left arrow, then hit the right arrow/left arrow again to stop on certain directions. So we're going to start by hitting the right arrow, and we're going to stop it before it gets to the S. We're going to hit the right arrow again and stop it on the W. We're going to hit the left arrow and stop it immediately to land on southwest. We're going to hit the right arrow and right past the W, hit stop to stop it on northwest. Hit the right arrow again, and we're going to stop it on the E for east. And then hit the left arrow, and we're going to stop it on N for north. And that'll solve the puzzle. We'll get the handle after a little bit of dialogue. We're going to press B once to exit our inventory, and again to zoom out. Make sure you have the handle selected with up on the D-pad and interact with that device on the pedestal on the left twice to start another puzzle. And this one is far simpler. Once the boxes show up, hit full, half, slow, full, half, dead slow, the black one, not the red one, and then hit stop. That'll solve that puzzle. Press B once to zoom out, RB twice to face the wall with the lit board. Make sure you have the pocket watch selected, which you should, and interact with the lit board twice to zoom in and again to once to zoom in and again to actually interact with it. Ace will readjust our pocket watch. And once we get control, press B twice, once to exit the inventory and again to zoom out. Again, make sure you have the pocket watch selected and interact with the pocket watch indent 3 times in total to place the pocket watch and unlock the door. Press B once, interact with the door, and that is the end of the chart room. Little bit of dialogue happens, and again we go straight into another escape room. Once again, you'll have the overhead map, so press B to back out. Interact with the nightstand and grab the music box on the right. Press B twice, exiting the inventory and zooming out. Hit RB, interact with the desk, interact with the keyboard, and interact with one of the monitors that says 0. You're going to get some more dialogue. And while you don't have a choice here, this is very important. You inadvertently tell Clover that her brother is not dead. So a little bit more dialogue happens here than normal, but eventually you'll regain control. We get pulled into the other room, and once you regain control, hit right bumper, interact with the box on the desk to zoom in, and again to pick them up, getting the small screwdrivers. Press B once to exit, interact with the drawers, and then grab the ink from the right one. Press B twice to exit your inventory and zoom out. Left bumper once, interact with the desk, and interact with the left drawers here, then grab the paper. Again, before you exit your inventory, we're going to combine some things. So hit down twice to select the small screwdrivers and press Y. Then select the music box by hitting down once and hit Y again to get cylinder. Press Y on the cylinder, hit down twice to select the ink, and press Y to get dirty cylinder. Press Y again, hit down once, hit Y to get the Morse code chart. Press B twice to exit your inventory and zoom out. Interact with this box with the circles on it and then the device to the right of the headphones. To zoom in, make sure you have the Morse code chart selected and interact with the button here to start the Morse code puzzle. Just like before, you may have to move the cursor a little bit lower. That happened to me last time. We're going to press the button or tap it to get a dot, and we hold it to get a dash, and you just need to replicate the code on the right. So tap, 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 hold, hold, tap, 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 hold, tap, 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 hold, 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 tap, tap. That solves the puzzle. Press B once to zoom out, interact with the long drawer, and then interact with it again, and interact with the red book. You get some dialogue here. And once you regain control, we're going to interact with the thing in the drawer to get a unique key. So interact with the item to get the unique key. Press B once to exit your inventory and twice more to zoom all the way out. Hit right bumper and interact with the door on the right. Interact with the pink door. Interact with the keypad. And make sure you have the unique key selected with up on the D-pad and interact with this slot over here. Interact with the buttons to start the puzzle. And again, we need to enter 35. So 35142724 and enter. And that opens the lock. Press B once to zoom out and interact with the pink door. This does not lead us to the ending yet, so feel free to read or skip however you want. We just have some dialogue, a lot of dialogue really, and we're going to have a few choices that pop up, so that's entirely up to you how you want to, if you've been reading or skipping, whatever. We still have a ways to go before the ending. And eventually you're going to get a dialogue option. That bullet hole was still smoking. I don't know, firing a bullet into the floor of a ship doesn't seem like a great idea. Okay, dialogue option. Again, we choose the third one, right, left, right, left, right, left. And we're going to have a little bit of dialogue again before we get another dialogue choice. Just like before. Once the choice pops up, we need to choose 7 and Junpei and Cap. I'm not sure why Captain America is here, but 7, Junpei, and Cap. And then we're just going to have a bit of dialogue again before the next thing that happens, which is another escape room. And we've made it. We're at the library. Again, you're going to have an overhead map, so press B to back out. Interact with this bottom right section of books. Interact with the colorful books to zoom in, and again to start a quick little puzzle. It's not very difficult. Hit the O book and swap it with the N book. I'm going to dictate the books by the number or letter at the top. Then hit the O book again and swap it with the E book, and that solves the puzzle. The slot will open up, and once you get control, we're going to interact with the light bulb to get the powerful light bulb. Press B once to exit your inventory and 3 times in total to back all the way out. Hit RB. Once again, interact with the bottom right bookshelf, and we're going to interact with this red book here. Hit A on it in your inventory because it's a pop-up book, and it will open up. And then you can press B to back out and B again to zoom all the way out. RB again, interact with the right section of books, and interact with the red book here to get another one of the pop-up books. Again, press A on it in your inventory to open it up, and then press B twice to zoom all the way out. Hit RB, interact with the upper left bookshelf. We're going to interact with this bottom right section here, and that brighter book is going to disappear, revealing a light bulb. Interact with the section again to get another powerful light bulb, and press B twice to zoom all the way back out. Hit RB once, interact with the bottom left twice to go down the stairs. Hit RB once, and interact with the bookshelves under the stairs. And we're going to interact with the red book on the right to get our third and final red book, and then again, we'll press A on the book in the inventory to pop it open. And then we're going to press B twice to back all the way out. RB once, interact with the cabinet on the left, interact with the plate down here, and then interact with the lock. Very easy puzzle, even if you don't have me telling you the answer, but it's 6, 3, 2, 4, 1, and 5. Once you have the number set, it automatically unlocks. And you'll back out and interact with the cabinet and then grab the light bulb from the bottom. Press B twice to zoom out and interact with this kind of pedestal thing in the center. With any of the light bulbs selected, interact with any of the 3 lights to place all of the lights in. Now press up on the D-pad to select any of the pop-up books and interact with any of the 3 yellow shelves. That will cause Sheldrake 5 to pop up in the center. Once you get control, we're going to interact with Sheldrake 5. Some dialogue will happen, and this is a rather lengthy dialogue for mid-escape room, but it's not too long overall. Eventually, you will regain control. Hit RB once you do. Interact with the colorful, color-coded books down here. Interact with the bottom right section of them. You'll take the 5th book out, and we need to interact with the button. Apparently, we were not in the right spot. There we go. You can press A to skip that scene if you want. And once you regain control, you're going to hit B to back out, hit the left bumper, interact with the stairs to go up, interact with the new wall here twice to move forward, interact with the lit monitor section, interact with the keyboard, and we're going to have to put a password in. And we're going to type in dead, D-E-A-D, and then hit the spacebar, which is enter on this keyboard for some reason. Go ahead and press B to zoom out and interact with the right door once to zoom in, and again to open it up and end this escape room. You're going to have a little bit of dialogue in between or after this room. That just leads us into another room. And this is the final escape room. Just like all of the others, we're going to start with an overhead map. So go ahead and press B to back out. And we're skipping almost everything in this room. We're just doing all of the puzzles without any of the background, just an FYI. Press B, press LB once, and interact with this tall stone console, and interact with the blue screen to start a puzzle. So this one can be a little complex if you don't have the solution. You're going to need to pay attention to my cursor and where I interact, because it's basically a lighted puzzle, or lighted box puzzle, but you have to have all of the columns and rows add up to certain numbers. So it's very confusing if you're trying to solve it on your own. I do have a step-by-step guide for it, but the boxes light up and turn off. So if I tell you to hit, for example, the C box, or excuse me, the 4 box right now, the 4 box isn't lit. So what I'm going to try to do is go by upper right, upper left, etc., so that you guys know exactly what box to press. So once you're in here, we need to hit the upper right box, which is the 4, the upper center box, which is 6, the bottom center box, which is B, and the center box, which is F. And then hit the bottom right C box. Now that turns off all of the boxes. So we're going to start in the upper left here. We're going to work our way all the way around the outside down to here. So just hit them once in order. The upper left, the upper center, upper right, the middle right, the bottom right, and the bottom center, and that solves the puzzle. After a little bit of dialogue, you can pick up the emblem that shows up on the right side. So grab that to get the cross emblem and press B twice. LB, and we're going to interact with the blue screen on the left here, and then interact with the compass. We now have another one of those compass puzzles that we had in the chart room. So again, you'll use the left and right arrows to stop on certain compass directions. So what we need to do is you're going to start with the left arrow and stop on south. You're going to hit the left arrow again and stop on west. You're going to hit the right arrow and stop on southeast. Hit the right arrow again and stop on northeast. Hit the left arrow and press the left arrow immediately again so you stop on east. Hit the right arrow so you stop on north. And then hit the left arrow and go back to east. And that will solve this puzzle. And we'll get another emblem. So go ahead and grab it to get the helm emblem. Press B twice. And interact with this tall blue screen to zoom in, and interact with it again to start another puzzle. This one is just a Morse code puzzle. Very easy. We need to spell ice. So again, I'll tell you whether to tap or to hold. So hover over the button, press tap A, and tap A, hold A, tap, hold, tap, tap. And that solves the puzzle. Again, after the dialogue, you can pick up an emblem on the right side. That gets you the code emblem. We're going to press B twice and LB twice, and we need to interact with this wall on the right, and then interact with the wall again to open the shutter. Interact with the coffin once, and after some dialogue, we're going to interact with it again. And then interact with the items. You're going to get the Neptune key, which is one of those items that goes in your pocket for later, and then you're going to get the coffin emblem. Press B 3 times in total to zoom all the way out. Hit RB once and interact with the back of this monitor. Use up on the D-pad to select the helm emblem and interact with the emblem spots to put the helm one in. Our next 4 puzzles are all the same kind of setup. You're going to have these colorful balls on the top of the screen, and you're going to have 2 boxes at the bottom with numbers in them. So right now we have a 6 box and a 3 box. We have to move the boxes, or the balls at the top into the boxes so that the digital root of the numbers we put in equals the number that's in the box. So we need to get a digital root of 6 and a digital root of 3. To solve these, all I'm going to tell you is we start usually with the left box selected. I'll tell you which balls to press. Then I'll tell you to hit the other box and put the rest of the balls in, and then we'll hit check on the right to finish the puzzle. So for this first one, the 6 boxes selected, so we're going to hit the 2, the 5, and the 8 balls. And then we're going to hit the 3, and we're going to put in the 1, 3, 4, 6, and 7 balls. The dark red balls cannot be moved, so we cannot move the 9 ball. Once all of the balls are in, hit check, and that solves the puzzle. Nothing really happens, but now we move on to the next one. We need to hit up on the D-pad to select the cross emblem and put that one in next. And we'll get, again, another similar puzzle. This time we're going to have a 1 box and a 7 box. And we're going to have the 1 and 9 balls are unavailable. So we'll have the 1 box selected, interact with the 2, 3, and 5 balls, then interact with the 7 box, and interact with the 4, 6, 7, and 8 balls, and hit check. That'll solve that puzzle. Hit up on the D-pad to select the code emblem and interact with the emblem spots. This will start your 3rd puzzle. We have 2 7 boxes this time. So we're going to start with the 7 box on the left selected. So hit the 2, 6, and 8 balls to put them in that. Interact with the other 7 box and hit the 4, 5, and 7 balls and hit check to solve that one. Finally, hit up to select the coffin emblem. put it in the indent, and we'll start the final puzzle. This one is a lot easier than you would think. Hit all 5 of the balls we have available into the 8 box. So we need the 2, 4, 5, 7, and 8, and hit check, and we've solved the puzzle. Interact with the desk drawer, and then interact with the photo, and we get quite a bit of dialogue here. And we're in the home stretch now. Once the dialogue is over, you will get a key card. But it's mostly just text to the end now. We do have one final puzzle, which is very easy, but there's not a whole lot left here. And once you get the key card, press B, LB twice. Interact with the door to zoom in. Make sure you have the key card selected and interact with the card reader on the left. That'll open the door, or unlock the door, excuse me. And then we can press A to interact with the door and leave. And that was your final escape room. So you're going to get an achievement to pop here pretty quick. Should be Seek a Way Out Again. 30G bringing you to 150 overall. There it is. And we're just going to have a lot more dialogue leading up to the final puzzle. So, again, if you're reading, you can just rejoin us when you get to the puzzle, because there is a lot of very important dialogue here. And again, it takes quite a bit to get to this final puzzle. This is basically the end of the game, so everything gets explained. Okay, we're coming up on the puzzle. We still have a little bit before we take control, but it's a very simple puzzle. There's a word at the bottom that has some letter or number pieces instead of where letters should go, and we just need to swap them out with the proper letters. The word is password, and we need the P, the S, the W, and the R. I think in the original version, this was like a Sudoku puzzle, and I actually thought that was more fun, but I guess they decided to change it. Okay, puzzle starts, so we're going to select, you just move the cursor and press A to select. Hit the 1 to move it away, and then press the P to replace the 1 with the P. Hit the 3 to move it away, find the S at the top, and press A on that to put the S in place. Hit the 5, and then hit the W, hit the 7, and then we're going to hit the R in the bottom left. You'll see the 9 flashing in between everything. That is very important because we're going to be asked for a password. And while you can put like 15 characters in, just hit 9 and then hit the enter arrow. And that is it, folks. Everything else you're going to get an achievement here for is that your final answer. Everything else is text to the end, so if you want to read everything and come back, you can come back when we're about to save. I think it might be when end starts. Might be safe, but I don't want to say that for sure. I can't remember exactly how the end goes, because I know it kind of gives you the credits, and then some more dialogue happens after that. So I think you'll be safe if you skip to end. And we're probably going to be close to 2 hours overall for this part, which is kind of what I was expecting. With all the extra, talking and explanation and stuff like that. Between 3.5 to 4 hours. Overall, I thought it would be pretty close to 3.5. And then I think VLR is going to be very similar, where it's probably going to be around 3.5 to 4 hours. Because while VLR is significantly bigger, it skips text significantly faster. And we get to the credits. Unfortunately, we can't skip these, so you'll just have to sit there for a couple of minutes while they run. Once the credits run, some more dialogue happens. You can read or skip to your heart's content until we get to the actual end. And if you've been following along with the story, this is a really cool and weird moment to end with. And that's the end of the game. So once you get here, you can hit A. You're going to get 2 achievements here. Don't forget your towel for 50G. That'll get you to 210. And then you're going to get a 6th sense of what's coming. That'll be your 8th achievement for 10G and will bring you to 220 out of 1000. As you can see, we have 8 for 38 and 220 gamer score. We are done. Feel free to press A twice and save. It'll bring you back to the flowchart. There is no good way to swap over to Zero Escape, though. So your best bet is to open up the guide and quit out and then reload the game. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to reload it and work on VLR next. I'm going to stop this portion and we'll start with VLR in our third section. In third video. If you have any questions or comments for me, as always, reach out to me and I'll do my best to answer them. But if not, I'll see you guys when we start VLR.